3 or 4 seconds.
All right.
We're live. So it's Howard Owens, publisher of the Batavian. How y'all doing today? We're doing. We've offered a series of interviews to locally owned businesses, local business owners, about what's going on with their business, how this is all affecting them, and we'll also talk about advice that they have for their fellow small business owners. Today we're talking to Mike Hodgins from John's studio. So let's get Mike on. Mike, there you are. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Howard.
Good
Thanks for
morning.
having me on.
Hey, well, thanks for joining us. So, first of all, why don't you just give us a little bit background about your business for those who may not be familiar with it?
Well, thanks, Howard. So Hodgins Printing was started by my dad, John Hodgins, in actually 1957 in Baysham, New York. He was a young guy, worked in the printing industry, actually worked at the old Courier Express in Buffalo, and had a little print shop in his barn, and got to a point where he needed to do more, and literally packed up his truck and moved to Batavia, and put a print shop on what used to be Seaver Place, where the mall is now. It was right up by the old WBTA broadcast house in the 1960s, and it was there until Urban Renewal took that location. Then moved to 117 Ross Street for about 10 or 15 years, and then we moved here to Harvester Avenue. We've been here for over 30 years now, believe it or not.
It's a long time in one place. Your father, I mean, he's really well known, or he's a county legislator. Looks like you got some paintings of his. Everybody knows him as, really one of our great local artists.
Yes. Yeah. So John had quite a legacy, both in the community as a politician and an artist and a businessman. And it was sad. His passing last May was definitely sad for us. But he lived a good long life, and he was a great man. So definitely a mentor and role model for both myself and a lot of people within the community that knew him. So, yep.
I got to tell you, I got to know your dad a little bit. We've only been around 10, 11 years, so he was already retired from the legislature and everything, and just a painter. I own 3 or 4 of his paintings, in fact, and it was a pleasure to know him. And I love his work. So tell us how with the coronavirus stuff and everything that's going on in business now, how is this affecting your business, and how are you adjusting?
Well, Howard, I would think just like most small businesses locally owned in the community, we've seen our business go down tremendously over the past couple of weeks. Our business that we do regionally as well, we do a lot of business downstate between Albany and New York City, and obviously that business has gone downhill as well. So yeah, I mean, there's been a massive dramatic effect on it. It's interesting because now when I look back over 40 years of being in this industry, we've lived through a lot. I mean, just like you folks in the media business, things have changed continuously. We've lived through the collapse of the offset printing business, multiple disruptive technologies within our industry, multiple recessions. We lived through 9/11. My dad made it through the Vietnam War and Watergate era. So we've been through a lot and we've survived, but this is completely different. And I think this is a different scenario for most businesses where before, we've been able to react to kind of both economic and cultural and societal changes along with technology. Well, this is basically a forced shutdown of the whole economy. So, I think there's a lot of people that this is a new one for us, and we're kind of trying to figure it out as we go.
Do you, let me, hold on a second. Do you have advice for other small business owners, how they might cope better, or what the strategies they might want to pursue?
Well, right now, I think it's a time for folks to try and keep themselves in front of the public eye. I think it's a time to, obviously, if you have the capability to work remotely like we do, it's a time to disperse your workforce a little bit and try and do everything you can to work electronically and technologically. In some businesses, manufacturing and service businesses, you just don't have the capability to do that. But this is a time when people tend to kind of retract, and that's definitely something that I think we need to do, because we've had to make some choices about staffing, and we've had to make some choices about hours and just kind of what we're doing. But at the same time, I'm a huge believer in advertising. I'm a huge believer in really reaching out to your customers and seeing how you can help them better. Doing things like trying to, offer free delivery and get stuff out quickly for people that need it. So, I think it's a kind of a double-edged approach. One is to really try and watch expenses, to make some difficult choices, but at the same time, you have to be out in the community as much as you can on a virtual basis, and you have to be reaching out to people to see how you can help them to get through this as well. I mean, our local business community is a fantastic group of hardworking, dedicated men and women that put it all on the line every single day. And I think right now is a time when the mantra of buy local is especially true. And I think that there's a lot that we can do to be supportive of other people within the community.
I think you're absolutely right. It's become kind of a cliche. We're all in this together, and that's what we're trying to do, is try to help everybody out. I appreciate your time today, John. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Yeah, I mean, just that we are in full operation. We've got people working remotely, and we can virtually produce things in a day or less, via email, phone. With remote production, and deliver things and really minimize the human contact, and work on spreading out the distances between people, but still serve our customers. I mean, a lot of the industries we serve, like healthcare and restaurants and retail and some of the medical offices and stuff, they need things right now, and they need things in a hurry. So we're just trying to do what we can to help, and plus, quite honestly, to keep the doors open and keep the business going. So, yeah, I mean, I think hopefully this will pass and we get back to normal as quick as we can.
Great, John. Well, thank you. So this is Howard
All
Owens,
right.
publisher of the Batavian. Hold on for just a second, John. This is Howard Owens, publisher of the Batavian, and I appreciate you for tuning in. We've got a couple more live interviews scheduled for today. I know the schedule might be changing on one of them, so I'm not going to give out times exactly yet what we're doing. A couple of things are up in the air, but we're working on stuff. Got some other additional stories coming, so be sure and watch the Batavian. And thank you for your time.